everyone, this is Shannon, and today I'm going to be sharing some encouragement with you about one of my favorite things to do during this time where we are all cooped up and no place to go, and that is getting out and enjoying nature. And I'm going to be sharing some videos with you just that I took this week of my family and I going out into the woods and stuff around our area, right around my house. And I just really enjoy getting outside and soaking up that sunshine. Right where we live in Western New York. We live in a very rural area, so you can probably notice that barn behind me through the windows, or you've seen it in other videos I've taken out my kitchen window. That's right across the street from my house. And all around my house we have fields and we have a ton of woods, and we just really, my kids also have a playground in the backyard and a sandbox and a trampoline. And so they have a lot of things that we try to give them to get them outside and get them excited about being outside. My kids also love to build like tree forts. They have a whole bunch of different tree forts. We just have so many things that we like to do outside. And the other night we played a family game of kickball in the yard. And so, but the videos you're gonna see now are going to be just a typical walk that we would take in the woods and all of that. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope this encourages you to get outside with your family if possible.
You can see here that we have chickens in our backyard, and the kids really enjoy these chickens, and we really enjoy getting eggs. My son Peter here, who's almost 5, loves to go in and play with them when he can. One of our many tree forts here. This is actually an old one that they had a ladder still up from that we're going to help them make a little bit better. It's a beautiful tree. In some of these pictures, you'll see that my mom in the video is with us. You just saw her a moment ago with the cane, and she looks young, but she's actually 82 years old, and she lives right next door to us. We have a big field between us, and she lives right down across the field from us. And she every day really tells us that she looks forward every day now, with this whole lockdown and this whole coronavirus thing where we're all staying at home. She really looks forward every day to coming up and taking a walk outside with us. So we've sort of planned it so that every day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon she comes up, and she doesn't even come inside or anything. We just all take a walk down the fields, down through the woods, and just get to enjoy the outside together. And it's a great way for her and I to get a chance to talk too, and the kids really enjoy having Grammy around. As you can see, we love to climb trees. At least the kids love to climb trees. This is one of the many trees that they love. So last year we also got some 4-wheelers to enjoy. That's my son Jaden on the 4-wheeler. And we got 2 4-wheelers because we live in, like I said, a rural area, and it's really nice to be able to ride all over. We have a whole bunch of acres of field and woods that we can ride all over the place, and it's just really, really fun for the older ones especially. And my husband and I enjoy it too. Peter has this tree here, this log. He decided it's his dragon with the big horns in the front. And so he likes to come and sit on the dragon and pretend he's flying. One of the most fun things about the woods is the creek. My kids all really enjoy this creek. It runs right next to our house and down is the woods, and it's just so much fun to come and run through the creek with their mud boots and things, and just we all enjoy coming down to the creek. And you never know what you're going to find in the creek. One of the things they love to do is go looking for crayfish. And you can always find some crayfish if you flip over the rocks and look under them and try to find them. I think my husband has just found something that he can show the kids. They come and do this all the time by themselves too, but it's the first time really we were getting out this season since the long winter. So there's a nice one. You just gotta be careful not to touch those pinchers. So it's all about making sure you hold it right so you don't have to get pinched. That guy's so little that I don't think he would really hurt at all. There's something about the look of delight in a kid's face as they look at nature and God's creation. There's just something beautiful about animals. So my daughters love to find ways to put on shows, and my one daughter Megan here has decided that a big log like this up high is kind of like an outdoor stage. She could put on her little shows for us. Do this sometimes. They'll sometimes find a big rock or a big log to do that on. It looks like we found some more critters. There's a little, actually kind of a big frog that Peter's got a hold of. It's so slippery, he's got to hold on tight to that butt. Tim's found an old bucket. So many different kinds of critters you can find down in the creek. Look at that big frog. And right as we went back home, Peter also found this little salamander out in the yard, or I'm not sure if he found it in the creek, but there's a little salamander. We did make him wash his hands afterwards. So this sign is showing you that we also went to a place called Moss Lake. It is only about a 10-minute drive from our house. It's a really beautiful lake with basically a wooded trail that goes all the way around it. I believe the hike itself is about a 2-mile hike around the lake. And there were a few people there. I know we need to stay away from people and social distancing, but we only saw people where you park, and we stayed our space away from them. And around the trail, we didn't see anybody actually passing them or anything. But it's basically Moss Lake because it's like, I think it's one of these hanging bogs that has moss and stuff all over it, and I'm guessing that's where it's got its name. I just love how it has this cute little bridge. The kids really just enjoy going back and forth across the bridge. And what a view. You see my oldest son Luke over there taking some video of his own. He didn't get in many of the pictures, so you finally get to see I do have a fifth child. It's my oldest. Here we found the boardwalks. They have these really great boardwalks that they built where you can walk out onto the lake a little bit. Looks like they're a little broken down, but you can see all of that hanging bog, I believe it's called, where it has like the peat, and you can see that it's almost like a system of roots that holds it up, but it's floating on the water, so you really can't walk out onto it at all, or you could literally go right through it. And you see here, my kids were fascinated with this big hole that was in the peat. So if there was a hole punched out, you could see it goes way down into the lake. And we were just fascinated to wonder how far down it went. We also found some fish eggs. We think that's what these are. It looks like spawning. There's some eggs spawning down there. Really cool things you can see and find.
And I wanted to share some encouragement from God's Word today with you about nature. Because nature is very special to God because He's the one who made it. And so it shows us a little glimpse of the glory of God. In Psalm 19, verse 1, it says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims His handiwork." So the heavens, the sky, the stars at night, if you've ever gotten a chance to look at that, and just everything, the beauty of nature around us declares the glory of God, the handiwork, the things that He made. And I'm going to also read from Psalm 104. I'm going to read a bunch of verses from 104 because it's just so neat. It says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with splendor and majesty, covering yourself with light as with a garment, stretching out the heavens like a tent. He lays the beams of His chambers on the waters. He makes the clouds His chariot. He rides on the wings of the wind. He makes His messengers winds, His ministers a flaming fire. He set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved. You cover it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood above the mountains. At your rebuke they fled. At the sound of your thunder they took to flight. The mountains rose, the valleys sank down to the place that you appointed for them. You set a boundary that they may not pass, so that they may not again cover the earth. You make springs gush forth in the valleys. They flow between the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. Beside them the birds of the heavens dwell. They sing among the branches. From your lofty abode you water the mountains. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of your work. And I'm going to skip down. You can read all of Psalm 104. That chapter is all about God's glory within nature. I'm going to skip to verse 24 and 25 says, "O Lord, how manifold are your works. In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. Here is the sea, great and wide, which teems with creatures innumerable, living things, both small and great." And it goes on to describe even more things that the Lord did. But I just encourage you to reflect on that today, that God made all of these living creatures that you might see outside as you're going out into nature, that God made the trees and He made everything so perfect and in such balance, I just encourage you as you walk and look at nature to remember how great God is and how He is watching over everything. He knows just what He's doing. So I'll leave you with that today, and I thank you so much for watching, and I pray that you are encouraged to get out with your family if you can, and also to just remember how glorious God is who made everything. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.